hello. That was a lot quicker than I thought. And welcome to the Tech ChitChat Show. My name is Ken from Northern Viking Everyday and Northern Viking Explorer. I'm here with my co-host, Steven, 8-Bit Warrior on Twitter, and Yoshi for round number 2. He's back.
Hello.
Andrew from Twitch. Welcome, you guys.
Hey, good to be back.
Yes, it is.
Back.
Are we actually streaming?
Well, we had a little bit of technical difficulty there.
Twitch is on.
Twitch is going. Hello, Twitch.
Twitch is on?
Hello, YouTube. Let us know if you guys are there tonight. So
yeah. So it looks like Thomas is back.
Yay, Thomas.
Yay, ducky.
Welcome.
Mike P, go Steve.
Yeah, you were just saying earlier, like, we have no Steve here, but
Steve.
Steven. Anyway, hopefully everyone can hear us okay. This is the Tech ChitChat Show.
That's right.
The return of the Tech ChitChat Show. We've done this now a couple times this year.
Mm-hmm.
And we'd like to talk about tech and drink coffee or tea or chocolate milk or whatever.
Yeah. Tonight I have discounted chocolate milk, 50%
discounted.
Low. I have water.
Oh, good choice.
Water. Ooh. And some of us might have peanuts as well.
I do.
No frills.
Yes, sir. Are we?
Or who we're talking about.
Yeah.
So we've got some fun topics today. I feel like sometimes we talk about the same things over and over again, but
we do.
Yeah. If you haven't done so, hit the subscribe button and follow us. You can listen to us on your favorite podcast. Puts you to sleep. Or maybe it keeps you awake. But
that's okay.
Thomas is wondering, Yoshi, is that background real?
Let's touch that.
Don't tell them. Keep him guessing.
Do you water that plant in the background?
I do have real plants. They're just they're still growing. They're sprouts.
My cactus back here in my Mario 3D printed Mario thing is dead. I killed a cactus. I couldn't even keep a cactus alive that doesn't need water. So Thomas really wants to know, but don't tell him, Thomas. It's a secret. All right, let's dive into the Tech ChitChat Show here. We've got some fun topics and a question of the day later as well, so stick around for that. We're going to dive right back into the Switch 2. I know last time we talked about it a fair bit, and we want to talk about it again because pre-orders are out now.
Yeah.
Steven?
Yeah, apparently people are having difficulties getting access to pre-orders. Now, I know none of us have tried, but we're hearing of other people not having an easy time getting their hands on the pre-orders.
Well, here in Canada, anyhow, they went live on the 24th, and people are struggling. It looks like Walmart, Best Buy, GameStop, London Drugs, Costco sold out everywhere.
Yeah.
So I think, though, like people are thinking like Amazon, like where you can sign up for a list, you might have a better chance.
Yeah.
So, Steven, you signed up to buy 5 or 6 of them?
Definitely not.
No.
As much as I do want to get a Switch 2, I would like to play it. But Andrew, you were just mentioning beforehand, I'm in the same boat as you. I'll wait for other people to get them first, and then I'll wait and see. Waiting for that first round of like, are there any technical issues that show up in the first version? Maybe getting a revision 2 kind of thing. So yeah, no rush on my part to get one, but I was talking to someone recently, and they're like, and they were skeptical that the Switch 2 would sell as well. But it seems like the pre-order, this condition, state of things is that it's going to do just fine.
So if you're kind of haven't been following along, the Switch 2, the price went up a fair bit. So it's supposed to come out on June the 5th, $629 for the basic version and $699 Canadian for the version with the Mario Kart. So it's definitely pricey. And
A little bit.
a little bit. But some of the games in Canada, the pricing came out as well.
Yeah. Thanks to Thomas for the snapshot here. So
Yeah.
see.
So I think this is Best Buy. So the games, like I'm seeing 99 to 115,
$115 for
That's pretty high.
But it's
pretty
Mario. It's Mario Party Jamboree.
Yeah, but then once you include taxes on top of that, here we pay like what? There's like a 12%. But what is it at? So it's gonna be like 100. Yeah. So it's to be like what, 125, 130 closer.
Yeah. That's pricey. Thomas is saying you can buy 3 used Series S on Marketplace for that price.
Actually?
Wow.
Yeah. Oh, that's interesting.
I did hear that the upgrades, if you already own Zelda, and you got like the upgraded edition to play on the Switch too, it's not that bad. I heard it was maybe $10. So maybe it's just like a little bit of a bump, especially like if you have a cart or have a digital download already. So
well, if I go back to the pricing here, Breath of the Wild was one of the less expensive ones.
Lower ones.
It was $99 down here in the corner. The thing is kind of covering it, but so still not inexpensive, but it's not $115.
Right. Yeah.
So,
but like people would buy like the used version of the game, right? And they could probably get a good deal out of it.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering. Yeah, that'll be a thing, possibly. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think Josiah here has a good point. Oh, wrong one. He keeps typing, so I picked the wrong one. But people know what they're getting with Nintendo, if I understand him correctly. Like you know what you're getting into with the games.
Yeah, you're getting quality.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're not making shovelware. And some might argue that that game that should have been free, though, might consider that kind of shovelware, the one that teaches you how the Nintendo Switch works. A lot of people were expecting that to be free, but Nintendo's actually be charging like $10 for it or something like that.
Yeah.
Which seems a little odd. But
yeah, Nintendo's really gotten away from, if you remember the original Wii, how much shovelware there was.
Yeah.
There was a lot of
yeah, that's okay. Then the iPhone came out and it was like Jupiter and took all the shovelware with it. I was like, yay!
All those bargain bin games at Walmart, the $10 build a cake kind of games.
Yeah,
and yeah.
I don't know if it's necessarily changed on the Switch, however, because on the eShop there is a lot of shovelware still. I think so.
I guess so. That would have been the hard copy discs back in the day. So
yeah. I think there's just like a bigger kind of like a preventative measure in terms of like making games on a cartridge. You have to buy like a certain amount of minimum quantity. Yeah. So it's only big companies that still wanted to make shovelware games could do that. And like I don't think Switch 2 really gives that option for indies. It's like you're probably gonna have to go through a third party seller, like publisher thing, and do like a deal to figure that out, because you probably need a lot of capital. Can't just go like, let's just upload with our indie account onto the eShop. So
yeah. And Thomas seems to be reiterating that. Yeah. As he says, according to him, 97% is shovelware. So
99-cent games.
Yeah.
There's some good gems in there, though.
Yeah.
I played some.
There's been a lot of good games that aren't overly priced on all the consoles. We used to play a lot of those, Stephen. The lesser expensive games.
Do you have any favorites that stand out?
Well, if I think back, one of my favorite sports games was a much cheaper version of the on the PS3. It was that hockey one. It was like it was made by EA, I believe. And it's where you like would become a jumbo hockey player or shrink down, and you could hit. It was more cartoony, but it had kind of the same mechanics as the EA game.
Yeah.
Thomas is
sounds
saying
like a fun time.
Fat Princess.
Yeah, Fat Princess was the thing.
We used to play Eden.
Yeah, Eden. Eden. That was made by Pixel.
Something like that.
They made a few games that were in that kind of price range, and they were actually good.
What was that one with the little thing? It would eat the falling. It was the little orange dude that he'd eat the falling creatures, and then some of them were poison.
Oh, Critter Crunch.
Critter Crunch, yeah,
fantastic game. Highly recommend. You can still buy it on Steam, by the way. If anyone out there looking for a really fun two-player fun game for two players, competitive,
yeah. But even actually some of the lower cost games, like I think back, one of my favorite Battlefields of all time is the
1943.
What was that? 1943, and I think it was like $15 or $20. It was only 3 maps, but
we played that as much as like a full $60 game back in the day.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I see.
So there are some gems in there for sure, like you say. So other thoughts on the Switch 2?
I'm wondering if anyone else out there and watching, any thoughts on the Switch release? Any of you getting pre-orders in or what? Or Thomas is mentioning also Mushroom Wars. That was another good one from that same company. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I've heard of that one, so I'll check that one.
That one's good. It's more of the I forget the name of the game, but you send all your troops in directions and to the points, and then anyways, it's a good game. Yeah. So
I wonder how they're gonna incentivize people to buy those games at full price, fresh games. Like, is everyone going to do that, or like are people gonna wait longer to like drip feed and buy like maybe only one game in like a year or two?
Mm-hmm.
Like, because originally they have like Nintendo Gold points or whatever for the Switch and the 3DS. They discontinued that, and so they're like trying to shift that early cost economy. If that makes sense, because if you buy a used game, you wouldn't have that extra value, so to speak, to like recoup. So you'd have to find it a different way. So I'm wondering, what are they going to do to incentivize people more?
Mm-hmm. Well, if anything, with the higher pricing too, suddenly the game that's $80 looks cheap. So I mean, maybe that will
great pricing.
So no, it's true. I'm not the only one who wants 1943 remastered. Josiah wants it more than food in his children's bellies, but he doesn't have children, so I have no kids. There are some good games out there, and I'm sure, like every other console, come the holidays, they go on sale as well. So, we'll have to see what happens there. We do have another topic, though, that is gaming. We actually have a few gaming topics, sort of.
What's next?
Forza 5 on PS5.
Yeah.
This is interesting.
I actually have never... This is a game like I feel like I should play. I have yet to play it. Because I am into racing games, and apparently it's really well received and liked, and it's finally made its way to the PS5.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I think a couple days ago you can get it on PS5. The interesting thing is this has been an Xbox exclusive for so long.
Yeah.
And was it on PC at all, or was it just Xbox?
It's on Steam sale right now, so
yeah.
But I think it's just challenging to sell that now that it's been out for so long.
Yeah, I think like this article just talks about. I think the gentleman's a fan of his PlayStation, but he wants to play Forza, so now he can do that. Plus, he had a Series S, so it's in higher resolution on the PlayStation for him. So I've played a little bit of Forza. Over the years, I think I've been more of a Gran Turismo person.
Yeah.
It's a little bit
Gotcha.
different style, but what are your thoughts, Stephen? I know we played a lot of Gran Turismo.
I think if you've been someone who's always been on PlayStation and you haven't been into PC gaming, now's your chance to play this game if you wanted to. It's been out since I think we said 2001. Sorry, 2021. 2001. 2021, is that right, Andrew? I think it came out 4 years ago.
2021.
But
and it's also on Game Pass, right? So you could play it. You play it on the cloud, on your phone. So it's like,
to be fair, though, I wouldn't want to play on the cloud, a racing game on the cloud, though. That one
I don't know.
is a no-go for me.
Yeah?
Yeah. But
is it a controller only thing for you? Do you play only with controller with
I'd prefer controller, but I just don't want any latency. I don't want any middle ground between for a driving game like that. The thing that's nice about it is though it has like 4 years of updates, so you're getting the PS5 version is going to have all the content that people have had to wait for all the years. You get a bunch of content and
no bugs or less bugs.
Ideally, you're just going to get a solid game and you can enjoy it. So I think it's cool.
So Josiah is saying Forza becoming a non-exclusive was a massive nail in the coffin for Xbox making exclusives. And Thomas says the same with Indiana Jones.
Why Indiana Jones? I'm trying to catch up. I get the Forza thing.
So was Indiana Jones? I'm assuming Indiana Jones, was it just on Xbox?
And which Indiana Jones? Like the latest one? Like the Great Circle one? Or
because that one's multi-platform, if I'm correct.
Yeah.
Well, we'll see what he says.
Remember.
I kind of think, if you've been a PlayStation person, I've been more of a PlayStation person, and then recently I have an Xbox, but I didn't play Halo. I didn't play games like that, but I played MotorStorm and I played Gran Turismo and these games. So like it's funny, some people haven't played the other consoles games, and so because you didn't play them a long time ago when the original ones came out, you kind of haven't come along.
Well, now I have a question. How many copies do you think it would sell if they released like a re-release of like all the Halo games on PS5? Like, I would imagine
are the online servers going to be up?
Yeah, online servers are up. You get the full experience. I would imagine that there would be, it would probably sell even though it's been out forever.
It probably would, but you can go buy the Series S and play it on there too. That's for cheap, apparently.
That's true.
Thomas is saying Indiana Jones was made by Bethesda.
Were they exclusive for Microsoft? Are they owned by Microsoft? I feel like I once knew this information. I've lost it, so it's been a while.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah. This is the Tech ChitChat Show. It doesn't mean we know everything.
We sure don't.
No.
But that's why we're here.
We're just here to chit chat.
And then you guys get to fill in with the gaps. But I think maybe there was something Microsoft. I think I remember there being deal with Bethesda years ago that was Microsoft only or something. But I'm forgetting now. So I guess that might make sense.
Yeah. So
Tom seems to want Halo Master Chief Collection on PS5. I don't know if that's gonna happen. I think if maybe Xbox Game Pass finally goes on PS5, that would be like crazy. This crossover.
Well, that's my thing. We have both a PS5 and an Xbox, and I prefer the Xbox Game Pass. So, even though I like the PlayStation better, like I think the Xbox Game Pass is a better deal because if you buy I don't remember how they name them, the premium one, you get like the EA games.
Game Pass Ultimate.
Well. Yeah, but you get the EA games as well.
Yeah.
Not just so. And I like a lot of those games, so I think I know you can.
I see.
PlayStation has their deals, but I just found the Xbox one to be a bit better for me. But
have you beaten any new games as part of the Game Pass?
Beaten any new games?
Beaten. Unless you don't play
playing
those types of games, because like
I
so,
honestly,
yeah.
I played a fair amount of the new Call of Duty this winter,
I
but
see.
other than that, and then some
Like
of
the ones with
the
campaign or more like multiplayer.
multiplayer. I didn't even touch the campaign. So if
Okay.
honestly, I'll play like FIFA and NHL, that sort of thing, and then some of the shooters. That's mostly where I'm playing.
Fair enough.
But yeah. So how about you?
Yeah, so I actually don't own Game Pass, but I did when I did, which was like maybe for like 2 weeks, I played through the trial, and I got to beat like 3 or 4 games, so it was pretty worth it. And for me, my strategy isn't really to own the Game Pass for like an extended amount of time. I think like just get it for a month when the games that you really want to play are on, and then it's like play the game you want, and there's like, okay, now that you beat it, you got like this extra a lot of time you can play like extra games that you can beat that you've never intended to buy or wanted to beat yet. So yeah, there's a lot of indie games I wanted to try on there. So how are you, Steven? Have you gotten Game Pass?
I've never. I think I've maybe seen like the Discord cross connection, like get this and this, and I was like, no, it seemed like too much work, and then no, because
not even when it's like $1 or free when it comes with Discord.
I'm at a point that I'm not even playing enough games. I kind of need people to pay me to play games at this point because I just don't have so unless there's some incentive. Because the only thing I mainly play these days maybe is like Dirt Rally. Like there's only a couple games that I play largely.
Dirt's a solid series.
So
I honestly, I'll get like I got Game Pass for 3 months in the winter when the weather's bad, but I don't have it right now. So
yeah.
But
ooh.
Anyway, there's I think so. Is Josiah talking about PlayStation having better controllers than the
no,
Xbox?
I think he means the Xbox having the better controller. He says he loves PlayStation, but Xbox has the better perk, and I think controller is one of them. And I would agree.
Gotcha. You know what? I would agree on that now too. At first, until I started using them, I didn't think so much. I find the batteries last a long time in them. Whereas the PlayStation one's rechargeable. I know you can put them in the Xbox one, but if you just buy AA batteries, they last quite a while.
Right. Yeah.
So, but there's another gaming console that I know Steven really wants to talk about.
Well, it's not a gaming console, but it has gaming.
It could be.
It could be. Okay.
Is our PC a gaming console?
Let's get down to
the Commodore OS Vision 3.0 Linux based.
You're going to make some nerd out there angry.
What did I say wrong?
No, not you, but calling it a gaming console.
Well, what are you going to do on it?
Okay.
Game.
So the Commodore. So I actually have a Commodore 64. I'd grab it, but it's kind of far away. Oh, sorry. No, one second. Hold on.
Do it. Woo.
Where did he go?
All right. So, yes.
Whoa.
So it turns out that Commodore died back in the 90s or whatever, kind of, these things, the Commodore 64, this old, whatever.
Let me turn off this text so we can actually see you.
Oh, well, it's okay. It's just right there. Nothing special. I mean, it is special, but yes. So this thing, released in 1982. It's old. It was a 1 megahertz processor, 64 gigabytes of RAM. So cool and great at the time.
I had one.
You had one as well? Yeah.
Yes. Where'd it go?
The disk drive. I sold it and bought a bicycle, I think.
It was a helpful
That's a good deal.
Yeah. So Commodore, the company, it was like the best-selling PC of all time. Like it's probably still to this day like the most, like one unit of computer type that had the most sales. But the company ended up basically going, I don't know what happened, but they ended up getting sold they ended up like getting sold to this company and this company and this company. And over the years, you just, who knows even where it's at. But the rights holder, the official people who own the company now actually have officially like released an actual like certified Commodore computer now. And with it, they have the Commodore OS Vision 3.0 now. This has been out for a while. I had not been aware of it. but this is the OS that they have to support their new Commodore system. Now, under the hood, it really is another Linux distribution at the end of the day.
Mm-hmm.
But I think they've done a really cool job of how they've packaged it, and they've tried to really please the people who are into the Commodore scene, and they've tried to do some things right with it. So at the end of the day, it's a computer, and you can even install Windows on it if you really want to, but it comes packaged. It comes packaged in this guy here, and they actually have the original. They got the original molding from the original place, whatever. So that it's like actually legitimate. It's not like a knockoff version of this casing, and I think they've done a tasteful job of how they packaged it.
So like internally in the keyboard thing box, that's where all the computing is, right?
Correct. And then you attach all your peripherals directly to the keyboard. So much like you did with the original Commodore 64. So it's a really cool thing for people who are really into the Commodore scene. They've done some really, I don't know if you had the other link there, the other one. It just has a really, I was watching a guy review it, and he just seemed really happy with it. He seemed to be hitting the right points. And yeah, I'm just kind of amazed this kind of went under the radar for me, and I kind of missed it, and then seeing it now. But anyways, it comes with like a lot of games on it, a lot of things. I think
so it is a gaming machine.
It is a gaming machine. Yeah.
So if you had one, what would you do with it other than game?
That's the question. It would fit into my already, for me, it would fit into my. So I have a Ubuntu Linux machine already on the side. It might take that over and become that, because it especially that is like, it's powerful enough to do a lot of stuff. Like, it's quite competent. Even the one guy I saw, the spec was like some Pentium chip. Like, it was just decent. It was like 16 gigabytes of RAM and just totally fine for a lot of stuff. But it would probably take over my experimental Ubuntu Linux kind of side of things.
Is it a modern Pentium or like a old style Pentium?
No, it's modern. It's modern on the hood. So, but the way that they package it up and with emulation, and there's even like a version of BASIC that they've added that they're like, you can do that, and then it should in the future work with the original Commodore as well. Like, you should be able to like do stuff like that. Josiah is saying, he played Club Penguin on that Linux machine.
Oh, Club Penguin on a Commodore 64.
We could do that, yeah. Although it would not be official Club Penguin today, so I don't know what state it's at. Yeah,
someone will have to buy the rights to relaunch it.
Maybe Commodore can buy Club Penguin.
Commodore Penguin.
But that'd be fitting, because you have like Tux. You would have like Linux. Anyways, that's a multi-crossover thing. So.
Did you ever have an Atari?
Yeah, Atari 5200.
Okay.
Yeah. Not the computer. But
no, mine was like a knockoff Atari, though, from Radio Shack. It was like a Coleco 2600. But it played all the Atari 2600 games.
I see.
That was the time.
Yeah.
Like, that would be like someone trying to make a PlayStation knockoff, and you can play all the PlayStation games on the.
Yeah.
It wouldn't go over well today.
But it was at, like, I think we got it at Radio Shack. So
yeah,
I mean, Coleco
Pac-Man.
It is what it is.
It was a different time.
It was.
Yeah.
So how are your monitors connected to your computers? What cable are you guys using?
You first.
DVI, HDMI, VGA.
Oh. So you're using
DisplayPort. Oh, not that one.
No GPMI?
No GPMI.
No.
What is GPMI?
Well, this is a new cable that is coming, potentially. Whether it will take off, we will find out. Let me pull it up here. So in China, it's being introduced by Suka, I think it's called.
Suka.
Video something like that. A
Shenzhen.
group of major Chinese tech companies, so TLC Chinese or TLC, Hisense, and Huawei, among others, have this new GPMI cable that apparently is much faster and can deliver more power. There's two versions of it, a USB-C version and then a GPMI that doesn't plug into anything else.
Currently, I guess.
Currently, yeah. Like it has to have a GPMI plug.
My brain had a weird moment, like it plugs into nothing else. What's this purpose?
No.
I was a little too literal for a moment.
The USB-C version is backwards compatible.
Yeah,
with USB-C, but the GPMI version, like the full out one, is not. I think it does. So it does 8K.
Yeah.
Let's see if I can find the specs here. I'll pull this up again.
And I think a big thing too is it's trying to incorporate various things together, including like a really good power delivery as well. This one's saying up to like 240 watts of power delivery, which is not bad. That's quite a bit of power.
Mm-hmm. So that's sorry, like HDMI 2.2 can handle 8K 120 hertz or 4K 480 hertz.
Yeah.
But GPMI can go higher than that. So more bandwidth, higher.
Yeah. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, no, go ahead.
The USB-C backwards compatible version looks like it's going to be matching like the HDMI 2.2 that's coming out. But like the version, the one that won't plug into anything right now, right, will have double bandwidth, right? Like that's just, it is overkill for most people's needs. Except there's going to be someone out there who's like, no, I want my 8K 400 hertz monitor, but it'll be able to like possibly power that. So,
well, and
you could have like one cable and split it to like multiple.
That's true.
You could, yeah. You could kind of do what's it called, where you like pigtail them together. You could potentially have like
daisy
one chain sort of thing. You could potentially have one monitor plugged into your computer and then the other monitor connects to that monitor in a row, so you're not having to run two like in a row.
Especially with it running 240 watts of power, that also opens possibilities as well. For daisy. I mean, at that point, if you're daisy chaining power, though, at that point, maybe getting a little sketchy. But other than that.
But so will we be able to power our like a monitor, for example, through? Yeah, you could send the signal and the power through one cable, eliminating a full cable.
Yeah, I see the possibility for that.
So,
yeah. No, it's good. And this article highlights that we likely won't see this anyways for a while, if at all, because the current stuff is already good enough for what most people. This is going to be niche for higher end users, but that's a small portion of the market. So
yeah, right now.
Yeah.
So is Josiah stealing all your monitors there, Stephen?
Yeah, that's part of the truth. Yeah. He also has some of the Value Village special monitor. I think he might still have one of those. Go Value Village monitor specials. Yeah.
Josiah's monitor setup looks like Gene Hackman's from The Enemy of the State.
Yeah, he does have a hodgepodge machine. It's wonderful. Yeah.
He's got it all.
It's pretty cool. Yeah.
He has three of his monitors.
Well, in fact, I got 3 of his monitors. And I actually have Josiah's side panel for his computer. So he actually has like, it's extra janky because there's no side panel. So it's like
no side panel.
Yeah. So better airflow. Yeah.
Okay. I know Thomas is going to disagree, but King Amos here, Enemy of the State is so underrated, and I would agree. Thank you very much. That is one of the best movies.
Yeah, we should have like a whole different podcast about like just movies you like, kid. That would be on there.
This is what I struggle with. This is what I have to deal with all day. People telling me things like that are garbage movies.
I liked Enemy of the State.
Yeah, I think it's good.
Yeah.
I like it. Well, our last one will lead into our question of the week as well. So let's jump over to that. So there are new GPUs with built-in gyro and accelerometers.
Wow.
Wow.
Is this like attachment to like AI stuff? This is the next level.
Well, all right. So when I think of that kind of stuff, if you tell me a gyro and accelerometer would be something you'd put in a GoPro so it would look smooth and you could see how fast you're going and that sort of thing. That's what I like in my mind I would think of, not in a GPU.
So we're not going to be controlling games with our GPUs?
No, like in my like
is it
to see how
yeah, move your computer.
Roll the case.
Good idea.
So was this Asus? Yes, Asus. Flagship GPU line, the ROG Astral, has recently received a new feature called Equipment Installation. And it's basically to let you know if your GPU has come loose and is unlevel. And which is kind of ironic because I know Thomas just got a fairly heavy GPU. And I was telling him maybe he should get a stand for it or like a support bracket. And maybe he should just get an accelerometer or a gyro in it.
I don't know about that.
It's not going to fix the problem. It's just going to let you know there is a problem.
Do you know if it's like a software solution, like a software driver, the hardware?
Well, I would think there's hardware to check if it's level.
Yeah, I wonder if it's going like beep, beep, beep.
Oh, I see.
Case, or is it like sending a signal?
A light. King Amos says this seems very unnecessary.
Yeah, I think it's
clearly King Amos, doesn't have the best GPU out there. What does he know?
Yeah. Well,
neither do I.
But what if your PC falls off your desk? You need to know if the GPU shook loose.
Everything is shook.
Yeah.
Like, I know it does seem kind of. I know you were mentioning that you said people in your video. I watched one of your videos and said that your GPU had.
Well, I was laughing because this is why I was like, oh yeah, we need to talk about this because someone watched one of my videos and they said I had GPU sag.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, but the lens I use also has a little bit of curve in it, so I'm not sure if it is.
Blame the camera, yeah.
There's minimal GPU sag when I look at it, but I get it with a heavy GPU. There can definitely.
You don't want to ruin your motherboard, so.
Well, this article was saying that like some of the premium GPUs can weigh around 3 kilograms. So what's that? 2 times like 6.6 pounds or something like that. It's getting hefty.
Yeah.
So there's, and they made a point. If you spend $3,000 on a GPU like a 5090, you may want to be aware of that.
Well, and those are the heavy ones, and I mean the stands aren't that much. They're probably less than $20. So you'd want to grab them.
Honestly, I'm more interested in testing with like moving your case and see if you can actually do some kind of like gimmicky thing with it. That would be more of a thing. If you can get access
Super Monkey Ball.
Yeah. If you could just get access to accelerometer and have some janky little like dumb thing you can do with it as a game developer, that'd be kind of fun.
You could put your PC on a rotating stand.
I don't know if would it check for. I don't know. I'd just be interested to know like what data would it give you? What data could you get from it? That would be interesting.
So
I've used a support thing one time. I had a 2080 Super for a time, and I tried using the bracket, but everything that was so janky and weird, and it was like awkward trying to use the bracket. But that was the only time I had to use one.
Okay, now I'm being for a fisheye lens. Okay, no, it has a very minimal curve when I film up close. When I try to film installation videos, it's not a fisheye lens. Like
I have a question for you.
As very linear as I can.
Do you use the P method, Ken?
The P method?
or the X.
Now we're opening up a new can of worms.
I don't know these things.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, sometimes. Do you use the P method?
I do the X. My computer crashed, by the way. It's okay. Carry on without me for now.
I'll see you guys. You.
We got a good snap.
So anyway, that's a perfect spot for Steven. Do you know what the P method is?
No. Is that part of like film theory or?
No, it's
I don't know.
Putting thermal paste on your CPU. What?
Okay.
Yeah.
I've never needed to repaste or anything. I'm right now my computer is using the default, like, so my CPU came with a cooler and it already had paste in like pattern that it came with. You just like put it on. So
yeah,
I didn't get to draw letter.
P method is like when you put a thermal paste in a bowl, like roughly the size of a pea. But as the coolers, or not the coolers, the CPUs, like the newer ones, are a little bit bigger. People are saying not.
There's not enough, maybe.
I'm just laughing because Steven says his GPU crashed.
Oh no!
In the chat,
he needed his gyro.
His computer fell off the table.
So
Thomas says, try shaking your computer. No, as the I have an i7 13700K, and it's a little bit longer. It's not perfectly square. So
like rectangle.
The P method it's fine, but I'd probably use a bigger P, but I'd probably want to have a little bit more spaced out. So you get more thermal paste into the corners and the edges. But anyway, that's a whole nother topic, is talking about methods of thermal paste, because that'll just make everybody angry.
I'm still on AM4, so I don't have those elongated wider CPUs.
Yeah, the only one I like, my i7, it's a little bit longer. But yeah, you're right, the AM4 is still
manageable,
more square. But everyone's talking about me now. Ken hates P's. You would never have the P method. That is true. Yeah. So I use more of the banana method. I'll put banana shaped across the. So, well, why don't we bring up our? Well, we'll just keep going. I don't know if Steven's coming back. I don't see him, so we'll just keep going here. Our question of the day or the week is: do you suffer from GPU sag? And apparently I do, because I use a fisheye lens. Do you have GPU sag?
So I had installed my 3070 like 5 years ago, maybe 5 or 6 years ago. I got it when it was like the COVID. So I think I did notice it sort of sagging, and then I like propped it up a little bit, but like I replaced the little support with a more official support, like a more legit stable one, and it's been doing okay. But I think it did affect maybe some of the performance. Like I had one of the fans fail, and I had to replace it. So that could be an issue with just like it's not level or something. And then like some of the HDMI would be flaky because of that. Well, and that's how I feel. I don't know if it's true. Like it could be just failing on its own.
Yeah,
So,
I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know. I guess that puts a lot of pressure on the PCIe port, right? If it's bending, but so I don't know. You've also typically got a screw holding it at the back, so it's just kind of on the one side. So King Amos definitely has some GPU sag, but he doesn't care.
Yeah.
So that's right. We don't care about the GPU sag. We just let it sag. I know Josiah said earlier he had a piece of wood shoved in there or something. Was that for the GPU sag, or was that?
Yeah. Cost less than $20. Put a
So
popsicle stick.
he doesn't suffer from the GPU sag; it suffers from him.
Do you press down on the GPU?
Well, if you're gonna start putting little toys and stuff on your GPU, that might not be. You might want to get some support there. So, but yeah, nothing
Do you
that
decorate?
inside my PC.
Yeah,
No. Well, does RGB count as decorating?
a little bit. I think it counts.
Yeah,
Like I
have
didn't really
RGB,
try
but
to do that. I turn mine off. I'm like, it's too bright. I don't need the colors.
I don't do
All
all the flashy
sad and
stuff. I usually
eerie.
go with like one color, one or two colors.
Gotcha.
Like, yeah, nothing too pink. Mostly blues and greens.
Yeah, my case has like a little like white LED, like on the lip inside,
Mhm.
like where kind of like the power supply or wherever it is. And
Yeah.
I turn everything off. I like
Okay.
maybe my pets wanna like are interested in the lights, just like keep it low profile, don't bother it.
I like the RGB on so I can show off my GPU sag. We want to see all the curve.
Yeah. Any
Thomas
Funko
puts Funko
Pops?
Pops on his GPU.
I mean, as long
You
as
got
you're
to do
not
what you
like
got to do.
100
So
degrees and
yeah,
then
you
melts.
have a melted like Funko Pop into your GPU.
Permanent decorations.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know that Steven's coming back. I think he went to game night or something. I think
Yeah.
he just cut everything off. He had to
Are
go
you
quick.
a board game player too, or no?
I do like board games. I like so Risk is one of my favorite. I like kind of like classic
Okay.
games. Monopoly, Risk. Um there's a cool one called Oil Man.
Ooh, I
That's one of
heard
my
of that.
favorite. Yeah, but if you can find it, we actually bought it from the original person at the like at the
Convention?
at the
Market?
market. Like he had a little like tent and it
A
was selling them.
stall kind of thing?
Yeah, like it was like a little tent, and he'd invented it and was selling it. So it's
That's
let me see
pretty
if I can
cool.
find it here, um, so I
I
can
wonder if
show
you could
you.
still buy it today.
You could. I don't know if you can today, but
Let's see, shopping.
let's hear.
Selling for 140 at Home Depot? Not Home Depot.
No, that wouldn't be it.
Something.
So it looks like this. There's actually a board with a whole bunch of holes in it, and then you shake the
Mhm.
board, and so it's different every time. And you drill in these holes for oil, and then like there's different levels, and
Mhm, mhm.
you bid on the land and stuff. It's pretty cool. So
Nice.
yeah.
Are you like a pro at that game? So if we ever face each other, you secretly destroy us all.
Well, I don't know. I haven't played in a number of years, but because you shake the board, it's different every time. So it's kind of there's luck to it as well.
Right.
So
Like a
yeah.
real life random generator.
Okay.
That's really cool. That's sick.
So
Nice.
anyway, well, why don't we wind it down there? I don't think Josiah's coming back. I don't think Steven's coming back. So we'll wind it out there. Any other final thoughts there, Andrew?
I, I think that maybe one of these days we could do a board game. Maybe like an online
That'd be
board
fun.
game arena or something. We could like try something like that.
That'd be fun. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
How do you do that? You all set up the same board?
Board Game Arena is a website that can
Oh, I see.
emulate
Like an
all of
online
them.
version.
But maybe we could do a meetup. Anything is possible.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah, Josiah's saying Uno night.
Uno night. Ooh.
So awesome. All right, well, we'll leave it there. Thank you everyone for joining us for the Tech Chit Chat Show. 3 went down to 2 and Steven's gone. He's probably at McDonald's eating a McFlurry. So we're going to leave it there. Good night, everyone. And thanks for joining us. Until next time, take care. Bye-bye.
Take care.